I woke up early today. I didn't want to miss the time that I had to leave the house. And rather than go back to sleep and set an alarm, I decided it would be much better just to wait for the time to arrive. And yes, I'm tired and my eyes are a little bit sore, but I've had a couple of drinks of coffee and I feel quite happy just to listen to somebody read to me. And I listened mindfully. I paid attention. So I turned the listening into a mindful experience, a little bit of mindfulness practice. What that means is my intention is to pay attention to what is being shared with me by the reader. As it happens, the content of the book that the reader was reading to me is all about mindfulness. So it's kind of appropriate, really. It's a really interesting practice. And I would invite you to think about the opportunities in daily life that you may have for paying attention in a mindful way to something that you're doing. In my example, listening to the book being read. But it could be walking somewhere, maybe not even for the whole walk, just for a portion of the walk. You're paying attention to the experience of this step and this step and this step and this step, and what you can see and what you can feel. And whenever you notice you're not doing that, just come back to doing that. And do that for the time that you set aside to do that as best you can. Washing the car, washing your hands, washing the dishes. So it's the opposite of some of the ways in which we pass the time. We're not passing time. Okay, so one of the challenges for me about reading a book like this, not having a book read to me into my ears that way, reading a book, one of the challenges for me when reading a book is to stay with it. Maybe I should try that. Maybe that could be my thing, to see if I can do it, if I can read a book mindfully. So I could look at a page for a very long time and have to go back to the beginning, start again, and back to the beginning, start again, because here and here and here and here, I was thinking about that thing I have to do, or that thing that happened, or that thing that's going on out there, or what I can hear over there. I'm not paying attention to the object of my attention, or the practice, as it were, purely speaking, which is to stay with what I'm reading. Find something. Give it a go. I noticed listening to this person read to me, most of the time I was staying with it, but some of the time I noticed I was thinking about particular other things and not hearing what was being read to me. So I did that for a little while, and that felt, I'm glad I did it. I feel the benefit of it. It was just like meditating. It is meditation. That's what it is. Awareness and training your attention. That's meditation practice. So I've chosen for the purposes of this little practice today, I have chosen to share with you a poem. And what I plan to do is to read the poem to you. And in that way, And in that way, you can try this approach too. So we'll settle in, we'll have our mindfulness practice, as we always do, and then I'll invite you to listen to me read to you a poem. And it's another gorgeous poem from one amazing, a singularly brilliant writer called Mary Oliver. Mary Oliver. You can find a lot of her poems on YouTube, which is where I found this one, and I'm going to share that with you. So just settle in and maybe lightly close your eyes. Notice how your body feels and any sensations you notice in your body now that you're paying attention to that. Your feet are on the floor. Notice that. Your hands are empty, open, and relaxed. Notice that. And if at any point you notice that your mind has wandered to something from yesterday and the past, or something from the future about which you may have concerns, or indeed it may simply be that you are in some kind of mental reverie. You're remembering something happy even. That's not your intention right now. Your intention is to pay attention to where you are in this moment, in this chair, listening to me. Feet on the floor, hands open and relaxed. And now, do your very best to stay with me as I read through this poem, 13 lines from Mary Oliver, and it is called Do Stones Feel? Do stones feel? Do they love their life? Or does their patience drown out everything else? When I walk on the beach, I gather a few white ones, dark ones, the multiple colors. Don't worry, I say, I'll bring you back, and I do. Is the tree as it rises delighted with its many branches, each one like a poem? Are the clouds glad to unburden their bundles of rain? Most of the world says, no, no, it's not possible. I refuse to think to such a conclusion. Too terrible it would be to be wrong.